Hello and welcome back to Pages and Pens. My name is Julie and today I am here with the mid-year book freakout tag. Let's jump right into it. This video was created by Eli and Chammy. I will have their channels linked down below. I have all the questions also in the description box, so check that out. I'm just going to jump right into these. I have done this every year on my channel. I know I'm putting this up a little bit later, but it's still technically mid-year. And I do want to get back to getting into some of the videos that make me genuinely happy. So I am going to be filming this today. I will also be filming a book haul today, so stay tuned for that. But right now, we're going to jump into all of the things that I have loved, been disappointed in, made me cry, made me happy. All the books I've read. I've read a lot of books already this year. Let me actually check my Goodreads. I have already read 86 books this year and my goal is 100. So I am currently sitting pretty on my goals and I've got a lot of books to choose from. So the first one is my favorite book of the year, and this one was difficult because one is a newer book, one is one that has been out for forever and I just never got to, and that is The Storied Life of A.J. Fickery, which I actually read in audiobook, and it tells you something that it still has this many tabs, because I continued to stop the audiobook so I could tab up and annotate and make sure that I knew my favorite parts of this story. It is just such a gorgeous book. Gabrielle Zevin is not a new author to me, but this was by far and away my favorite of her work, and it is just, it's stunning. And it fits kind of my ideals of what I want in a book. It's literary in that it, centers around a bookstore, centers around a bookseller, and it is heartwarming and heartfelt. It has all these amazing quotes in it, and it is humorous, and it's everything. It's everything I want in a book. It's very Bachman-esque in the way that the story is told. Really, really, really loved that one. The other favorite is a recent read, and that is All Boys Aren't Blue by George M. Johnson. When did this even publish? 2020. I bought this during the Tuesday blackout, I think. I might have actually bought it before that when all of the links for Black-owned bookstores were going around, but I couldn't wait for it, and I actually listened to the audiobook of this, and the audiobook of this was phenomenal. If you want to know more of my thoughts, that's in my Queer Blackathon reading vlog. But I loved this book. Definitely made me cry. I'm glad that I have it, and I'm glad that I can now annotate it and see all of this. I had no idea that there was pictures inside, so I can't wait to reread this and actually annotate it and tab it and kind of see the pictures as I go through, because listening to it, I didn't realize all that was in the book. And then I got it and I started flipping through and I was like, oh man, that would have been incredibly impactful. But the audiobook in and of itself was already amazing. Really loved this collection, and I cannot wait to reread it and annotate that. Our next question is my favorite sequel, and I've read three sequels this year. I read Firestarter, which is the last of the Terra Sim Timekeeper series. Did really like that. I also read Night Country by Melissa Albert, which is a sequel to The Hazelwood. Did not really like that. I'm going to give the best one to Dark Dawn by Jay Kristoff, which is the last of the Nevernight Chronicles trilogy. And I got the special edition, Black Sprayed Edges Waterstone, I think this one is. And there are so many tabs in this, I don't know if you can tell. I really liked the way that this one wrapped up. I really liked the way that he pokes fun at himself, mentions other books, brings things back around from book one. I thought it was a very cohesive joining of all three of the books, even though I still don't ship the endgame ship in this, and I missed a lot of the emotional connections to the ending of this book, or parts of this book, because I don't really care about the ship in this book. But, it's fine. It is what it is. At the end of the day, you're not going to always love the ship that the author goes with. This is one of those situations, but I did still really enjoy the book. I don't know that I 5-starred it, though. I think I might have 4-starred it, but it was probably the best of the sequels that I've read. The next one is a new release that I have not read yet, but I want to, and I've got 2 for that. I have Camp by Elsie Rosen, who is the author of Jack of Hearts and Other Parts, which I really, really, really loved. I had every intention of getting to this. It's an arc I got at ALA. I wanted to get to this before it released, and it just didn't happen because I wasn't reading very much, but I do still really want to read this, and I definitely want to read it during the summer because it is a summer camp queer story, and I definitely want to get to that during the summer. The other thing that I am really intrigued by still is The Trouble with Hating You by Sajni Patel, which is All's Fair in War and Marriage. I don't know very much about this, but I've seen this make its rounds in a couple different channels, and they really, really liked it. I think this one came out in May. I'm here for this one. I want to read that one very, very much. The next question is the book releases that I'm most anticipating for the second half of the year. And for that, I have a couple. I have Alyssa Cole's When No One Is Watching. When No One Is Watching You? No, I think it's just When No One Is Watching. And that is a thriller by Alyssa Cole, who is typically a romance writer. At least in my experience, I know her as a romance writer. I'm very here for this, and I actually do have an arc of it coming. It is not here yet, but I am very much anticipating this book. And I've been back into my thriller kick again, guys. I went like contemporary, and then I came back around, and I'm kind of diving into my thrillers again. And I'm not upset about it. I'm not going to keep pushing what I'm enjoying away because I want to do other things. I'm still reading a little bit more diversely. I'm still reading contemporaries and other things, but the thrillers are definitely coming back again. So I'm very excited to read that thriller. Also, I've already read Frederick Bachman's Anxious People. I've tabbed and annotated and loved it, 5-starred it, and I think that you guys will too. This one comes out in September, and I think that this is one that hopefully Bachman fans really, really enjoy. I know it has a special piece of my heart now, and so I'm anticipating this one for you because I think you're going to really, really love it. But Alyssa Cole, I'm really anticipating for me personally. The next is a disappointing read of the year, and for me, I'm going to give it to The Library of the Unwritten by A.J. Hackwith. I am 128 pages into this. I've been trying to read this for months. I've picked it up 5 or 6 times, and I just cannot get into this book. I am not giving up on it. It's not a DNF. But I thought I was going to love this. It's about a library where souls of characters that are unwritten go back up to Earth to try to get their authors to write their stories. In theory, I should love this, and I just cannot get into it. So I think that's like the most disappointing thing for me, is that I really anticipated that this would be like a break the slump, no problems read, and I just cannot get into it. So that bums me out a little bit. And then we have the most surprising reads of 2020 so far, and it's got to go to a couple of books, one being The Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo, which I read in audiobook form, and I really enjoyed. It's not perfect. I see some flaws. I think I gave it 4 stars, but I definitely was intrigued and I enjoyed it. Could have been because I was diamond painting as well when I read it. And then also Recursion by Blake Crouch, which will also end up in a haul video soon. This was a surprise because I don't like this type of story. I don't enjoy science-y, dual dimension, timeline, time travel, science-heavy things like this that make me question the very fabric of the reality that I've come to know, love, and depend upon. Don't enjoy that. Messes with my head, causes me to think way too existentially, really freaks me out. But I always seem to like his writing. He did it in Dark Matter, he did it again in Recursion, and I really enjoyed it, even though I cursed this book and I wanted to throw it. I didn't like the way it made me feel at times. I was like, that's kind of the point, I think. And so it worked. It worked for me. And I gave it 5 stars, which is ridiculous, but I did. Favorite new author or new to me author? For that, I'm going to go with Catherine Ryan Howard, who is an Irish thriller writer. I read Rewind, which was an arc from the first BEA I went to, and I just recently read it, so it's been like over a year old and out. September 2019. After that, I read The Liar's Girl and Distress, ooh, that's dusty, and Distress Signals. I've read all 3 of her books now, and she does have a 4th one coming out soon, but I found that I really enjoy the way that she crafts characters, the way that she crafts her stories, so that you can follow along, you can hypothesize, you can try to guess what's happening. Sometimes you're right, but then there's a twist to it. Sometimes you're wrong. I will say this is my favorite of the 3, The Liar's Game being my next favorite. Distress Signals was not my favorite, but it's still, you know, they're still really good thrillers, and it's an author that I'm definitely looking forward to reading more from and continuing to learn from. I love the way that she structures her thrillers. Her chapter structure is really intriguing, and I've talked about her books a lot, but really, really enjoy her as a new to me author. The next one is going to be my favorite fictional crush, and I do not get fictional crushes. I don't get book crushes, but Zafir, he did it for me. Also, so did Danny. Danny and Zafir are amazing. They have a fake dating relationship. Danny is a proud black witch scholar with bright hair, and Zaf is a retired rugby player turned security guard turned entrepreneur, and he's just soft and amazing and beautiful, and they're both self-aware. Even though they have their own flaws, they're both self-aware. He is very into mental health and mental health for boys, especially boys in sports, and there was not a thing about this that I didn't love, and especially about Zafir that I did not love. He is like a dreamboat of a dude. Like, I know there's men like this out there, but like, he's legitimately pretty much perfect. Like, I'm down. I'm down with him. And Danny as well, as a bi girl. Pan, I don't know. She dates women and men. I don't know if she ever self-identifies, but regardless, I think bi. But like, in general, they're both phenomenal. New favorite characters, and I don't really have those either. I'm gonna go ahead and say Gus and January. I really enjoyed both of these characters. Again, both with their own past issues coming together. They're both writers, kind of introverted. They take very different approaches to writing, but I enjoyed both of their characters. I enjoyed this book very, very much. I gave it 5 stars, as well as I gave this 5 stars as well, just FYI. But I really enjoyed January, and I really enjoyed Gus, and I enjoyed looking more into them as characters, and yeah, I really connected with them. And Emily Henry is not an author that I connect with all of her books. Some of them are hit and miss for me. This one was definitely a hit, and I enjoyed those characters a whole bunch. Then we're gonna have a book that made me cry. Is that what this is? And I'm gonna go with Man Called Ube by Frederick Bachman. Any Frederick Bachman has made me cry. I will also say, and every day the walk home gets shorter and shorter. Holy crap, guys. I cried so much at that. And I think you saw that in my Contemporary-thon vlog. He destroys me. He absolutely destroys me. His writing is stunning. His characters are so rich and so real and so visceral. And they tackle these like very human emotions and very human situations in a way that like dares you to not be affected. And they're just stunning. So this one in particular, just a lot of tears. A book that made me happy, and just bear with me right here. I'm gonna go with just thrillers in general. I've been loving thrillers. They've made me genuinely happy, and seeing myself enjoy a genre and a style of book that I thought was not mine and something that I didn't enjoy, and being able to read widely through the thriller genre and then learn what I do and don't like in thrillers has been really eye-opening for me, and I've just had the best time with them. I'm really enjoying them. So I will say some standouts. You Let Me In by Camilla Bruce is so amazing. If you like something with a little bit of like a magical fantasy vibe to it as well, that kind of follows like fae, but also mental health and trauma. Lots of trigger warnings, but this one was terrifying and amazing, and I really, really loved it. 8 Perfect Murders, which was sent to me by the publisher, and this one was, again, literary. It's about a guy who runs a bookstore who wrote a blog post about the 8 perfect murders in literature, and then they start to be recreated, and the cops come to him for a little bit of advice solving the case, and it's just, I really enjoyed it. Alice Feeney's His and Hers. Alice Feeney in general is somebody that I've now read all of her books, I think. All of her thrillers now. I don't know if this is my favorite. It might be one of my favorites of hers. It is dark, man. Alice Feeney always just goes a little too far in like all of her books, but like in a way that you're like, damn, it's too much. They're gory and gruesome and thriller and mystery and whodunit, and it's twisted as shit, and the characters are not always likable, and she always just she makes a choice every time. Every book she makes a choice where you're like, that's what you did? But I kind of like that about her. And then I kind of wait for that. And I'm like, all right, I'm here for it. Where are you taking me this time? Most beautiful book that I bought or acquired this year. And I'm going to have to give it to the Owl Crate for Where Dreams Descend by Janella Angelis. This one is stunning. This is just a naked hardback, no dust jacket. And it is gorgeous. Like, actually gorgeous. I have the ARC and I have not read it yet, but I'm very happy to have this particular hardback. I also want to say, give a shout out to the special edition of Addie LaRue by Victoria Schwab, which I am getting the UK edition. I know that this is kind of like divisive. Some people love the US, some people love the UK. I like the constellation vibe of the US one, and I think it'll match the rest of her books better, but there's something about that UK cover that is just gorgeous, and I did get it from the store that she linked to, and I'm forgetting what store that is now. But she does have signed copies available, and it's an exclusive UK edition with like a gilded gold edge. I'm very hyped for it. It is a beautiful book. I'll put a picture up. I'm very, very much looking forward to that one. And then the last question is actually the books that I'm still looking forward to reading for the rest of the year. And so many. I would really like to get to Skyward and, what is the other one? Skyward and Starsight. Really like to get to those. I would like to get to The Shadows, which is over here, by Alex North, which is a thriller. I have a lot of the books that I bought for Blackout Tuesday that I still want to get to, specifically Octavia E. Butler's Fledgling, which I heard Bethany over at Beautifully Bookish Bethany just talking about, and I'm ready for it. What else do I really want to read? What else? Give me things. And then thrillers, guys. I'm still just very much in a thrillery vibe. If I can read all the thrillers, I will read all the thrillers. Can't wait to get Alyssa Cole's arc in of When No One Is Watching. Very hyped for that one. But that's kind of been like, I mean, 81 books already is not a little. I've read a lot of arcs, but I've also got a doc of all the books I got from ALA and all the arcs that I've received, and I definitely need to do better. So look forward to probably some arc reading vlogs, to some reading vlogs in general. I want to be moving towards doing a little bit more vlog type footage. In terms of content here on this channel, I will have a video soon updating you on what I plan to do with the channel in the future. Please do check out the links down below. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, mainly Instagram. I'm avoiding Twitter if I can, but follow me on Instagram for updates, and Discord. I think I might be moving to a Discord for like a buddy read group. If you would be interested in a Discord buddy read group, like, let me know. I'm leaning, just as a preview to that video, I'm leaning more towards focusing my creative energy on writing, because in terms of like my future and my long-term goals, it's being an author, not being a YouTuber. This is never going to be my career. So being an author hopefully will be. So I need to put my creative energy there at being an author. So if you want to be more engaged with my reading, with my buddy reads, etc., maybe consider Discord, or let me know if you would be down for a Discord doing that. And that's going to be it, I think. For right now, that's everything. Stay tuned for a book haul soon. But that's been my mid-year book freakout tag. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to give me a big thumbs up, click subscribe, and I'll see all of you in my next video. Bye, guys.